Warriors of God, get ready for 2023 as Podium Broadcasting Network kicks off the year with a new series called Survival of the Fittest. Catch us live every day at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily for fresh revelation. Also for our midday session, we'll be having a new series entitled Revelation Unfold by the Man of God. So, join us daily to build your spiritual life because it's all about getting people heavenly ready.
Thank you. Well, we are in the month of January 2023. We made it. You know, I thank God for bringing us this far and this Podium Network viewers and family. Again, I'm your host, Carl. Again, I'm here again for another year. God is so qualified. He gave me another year again to be on the airwaves. So I thank God again as we propel this year. And this year, we are talking about the warriors of God. This is a trying year for the whole world, a trying year for people, for marriages, for life, for family, for business, the economy. So I'm coming on very strong because why? We are talking here, warriors of God, you know, and this is the month of January. We are talking about survival of the fittest. We are entering this month of January with a survival code and a survival mindset. So I'm your host, Carmen again, and I feel privileged to be around again another year, hoping that God can move it forward and make some mysteries come alive. I thank God for my good friend, Dr. Jogi, who is doing a prayer, a national prayer in our country of Trinidad and Tobago, which I'm a part of. Is a movement. And that it takes a warrior to have a movement mentality. So I feel privileged to be alive, but we're talking here this month, survival of the fittest, you know. And because the economy is tightening up around the whole world. There are things taking place behind the scenes, and many has not been alert to it. But I thank God for the Holy Spirit, and is bringing me with the encounter to identify the movement of the natural system. So God is good, and He's privy to keep me connected to where the world is going, so I can guide the viewers, the few who are looking, who are following, and those who are there, to guide you guys and to keep you guys alive with information. So welcome to 2023 again, and I'm going to start off this week nuggets. You know, we're talking here, the nugget today is our natural life. As a warrior of God and a child of God, you're entitled to have a natural life, you know. But a natural life can be dangerous to your spiritual life. You know, because the economy has moved upon the whole world, you know, economically, that where our natural life has not been challenged. So I want to deal today as we start off this month of January about our natural life, our natural way of living. See, our life in the natural within the spiritual. Our life in the natural within the spiritual. How can you have a spiritual life and at the same time have a natural life? That is what it seems to be difficult. But I have encountered that type of decision. When your natural life is in the spiritual life, how do you propel that? Many are now being affected about that type of life. When God chooses a warrior, it is a selection that is appropriate and the best for his task. God will not select you as a warrior, and he does not give you the appropriate attitude for the best of his task. You know, and a warrior, a warrior is a soldier or a one who encounter fight or who encounter warfare, a warrior. When you talk about warrior, you're talking about one who is always in a battle. Well, we're talking about the battle of the natural life and the battle of the spiritual life. You know, because the battle now today, after the pandemic, is the natural life attacking the spiritual life. And the spiritual life is defensive now of the natural life. So when God chooses a warrior, it is a selection as appropriate and best for his task. Many can say that they are chosen. Many. I know people say they are chosen. I'm chosen. But when the task comes, it's only then one will know. Then you will know if the task that you are about to take, if you are qualified for it. Many of us, our natural way of life is sometimes a hindrance to our task. Once again, many of you and us, our natural way of life is sometimes a hindrance to our task. You know, as we move in 2023, these teachings will prepare us for what is ahead of us in these closing days. The days are closing, my brothers and sisters. I'll be sharing tonight at 7 o'clock. Also on midday, I'll be going over some revelation I brought in 2020 and beyond, coming up forward to this time. So tune in midday for our 1 o'clock session. While we move in 2023, these teachings will prepare us for what is ahead of us in these closing days. So I'll be giving some nuggets, short impact statements. Nugget number 1, the demand for a natural lifestyle. There is a demand for your natural way of living. Don't make nobody fool you. There is a demand for it. Our natural way of living now, it brings us into a survival way of life. If you do not know about the natural way of living, your surviving ability will not be qualified to survive in the society you're in. There's a demand for a natural life. The world makes demand on us to fit into it. The world system, it makes a demand of the child of God to fit into the world system, because it comes through money and food and clothes and rent and job and expensive and cars and eating and schooling. All these are natural combination that one have to be a part of if you have to survive in these days. Our enemy of the world is found in our economy we choose to live in. How we live in the economy, it can be your friend or it can be your enemy. It can be a way of life or it can be your enemy. It can be a way of survival. How you choose to live in the economy is very important, because there is a demand for a natural lifestyle upon the body of Christ. You can't run from that. Jesus says to us clearly, you could be in this world and not be of this world. So you cannot be in this world and does not know how to participate in a natural way of living. Economy of any country should be looked at its production and consumption of goods and services and movement of money. Let me say again. When we talk about economy here, which you are part of, if you don't believe it, in any country, it should be looked at as its production. What does the country produce? Our consumption, what are we taking in? What are we going to feed the public? You know, a consumption of goods and services, how we respond to issues and ideas, and movement of money, how we move money in the country of Trinidad, American dollars, US currency. It becomes difficult to get US currency in the country here. You have to buy it on the street. You have to go black market, hot market, no market, to get US currency, to import, to pay for foreign goods, to pay on Google and to ship things in the country, to buy online. You have to have a credit card, and you cannot spend as much as you want to spend. So in the economy of a natural lifestyle, movement of money becomes difficult. And many of us are not looking at these things that is approaching. I am looking, my brothers and sisters, I have my head on. I am watching how the economy is booming, shifting, falling, weakening, getting stronger. I have to keep my eye on the economy because I am living in a natural world with a spiritual life. So any country should be looked at its production and consumption of goods and services and movement of money. Listen to me here now, because things are coming, you know, and there is all kind of cashless and wireless and cards and money movement. It will tell you where the economy is going and what you have to be a part of to survive in any economy of the world. Many of us not looking at these things. So on my first nugget is there's a demand for a natural lifestyle. Nugget number 2, inflation survival. Inflation. Inflation comes upon us when there is a rapid increase in general prices, levels, and fall in the purchasing of value of your money. Let me say it. Inflation. Inflation comes upon us when there is a rapid increase in general prices levels. When prices and things are getting sky high in any economy, inflation comes, and you have to survive through inflation. And many young people is not tracking this inflation thing. Many husbands, many wives are not tracking the inflation survival. We have to survive when things are being inflated, like a balloon. When you buy a balloon is flat. But when you put air in the balloon, according to how much air you put in the balloon, it gets larger, 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 larger. A balloon. It's inflated. But when you get a pin and you pop, that balloon can blow up like that. Inflation can come and blow up so much and ending up exploiting the human race. So inflation comes upon us when there is a rapid increase in the general prices levels and fall in the purchasing value of your money. When your money have no value again, that means you have to survive. You have to survive. When your money have no value again, when your job has no value, you are being underpaid. And to survive these expectations, a warrior mentality is needed. To survive any inflation, you've got to be a warrior, my brother and my sister. You know, I have 5 children with my wife. I have 3 with my wife and 2 on the outside. I taught my children up front. They did not know I was teaching them. But I taught them some things when they were a young boy, young girls, how I survived to feed them on a daily basis. They did not know the money coming from, but I had to find the money years ago to mind a wife and 3 children and pay mortgages and buy cars. That was a different level of inflation. But now, after the pandemic, the inflation level has changed. And now, there is a demand now on our natural life. Nugget number 3, the natural living syndrome. The natural living syndrome. Many of God's children have decided to run to a 100% natural lifestyle. I know believers give up on God because the natural life has drawn them into survival. And many of them now, they stop tithing, they stop sowing, they stop giving, stop fellowshipping, because they had to live. They had to survive. They had to survive. So they give up on God. So many of God's children have decided to run to a 100% natural lifestyle. I am not one of them, because of the demand to exist in their economy. There's a demand to survive in Trinidad right now. Right now in Trinidad, if you don't have money, you have problem. If you don't have a job, you have problem. If you don't have income, you have problem. If you don't have income coming in on a basis, you have problem. You can't pay bills in our country. And I presume this is happening around the world. So many of God's children have decided to return to a 100% natural lifestyle because of the demand to exist in their economy. We have not prepared for the economical war that is before us. Many of us have not prepared for that economical war. That economical war is a problem. Our warrior spirit has died. Many believers, they believe in the church to go and sit down in the church and to clap their hands in the church, listen to a sermon and go home. And the sermon has nothing to do with the natural living syndrome. Many churches right now are not giving the people right now enough revelation to live in a natural life, and where the demand of the economy requests a natural life to survive. I am not one of them. I'm on the Zoom. I'm on the Zoom. I will share my information outside of the box. Because in the church, there's only a certain amount of people hearing you. And it's only that bunch you care about. But when you go online, you go in the airwaves, and you go on TV, you're interfering now with the world system, and now God now can select you as a warrior because you have the information to feed people to survive in the natural world and to understand the natural living syndrome. We have not prepared. Many churches still preaching salvation, still preaching salvation, being saved. The people saved, and you're still letting them know they need to be saved. After, you have God. You have love. You have salvation. You have joy. You have holiness. You have peace. You have worship. You need money. You need to survive. You need to eat. You need to pay rent, pay bills. So after you have God right, you can't preach to them God all the time. Then you need now to switch it and feed them now biblical connotations or biblical revelation how to survive in a shutdown economy and how to be a warrior. I have teach God, holiness, salvation, peace, worship, praise, everything, dancing, clapping, everything, righteousness, marriage, relationship. But now, these things, you have all these things. What now? How to survive in a shutdown economy. What you need to do and not to run back to 100% lifestyle because of the demand to exist in your economy. Look at number 4. Look at number 4. Warriors return. Warriors return. Many that have been wounded in COVID time has lost their first love and has not the returning spirit. Hey, come in here. Hey, let me clap myself here. Many so-called church people, born-again Christians, God lovers, has been wounded in COVID and the pandemic. Some of them themselves know they are wounded. They are wounded in the mind. The mindset has been dismantled because of the demand of the economy to survive. The lockdowns, the mask, the gag, you know, the shop closed, the grocery closed, the store closed, you know, the banks open. Hey, the banks stay open in COVID. They make sure they shut the bank down. Everything closed down. And it wounded us. So those who were warrior, but in church, and vibrant, and clapping, and things, and Jesus is a winner, and bright, and things on, talking and talk, boom, 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 wounded. Their confession changed. Their worship changed. Their giving changed. Their praise changed. Everything changed. They're wounded. Warriors return. And many that has been wounded in COVID time has lost their first love and has not the returning spirit. The natural way has caused us to be or feel left out. The natural way has bring us out into a place of nowhere. God never closed doors on his children. Once again, God never closed doors on his children. Come on back. Hey, warrior, come on back. Come on the Zoom. Stay in the word. Go back. If the building is what does keep you on fire, go back in the building, find a building. If you don't want to go back in the building, come on the Zoom. Go on internet, type in Carl Meade or PBN and come and see what I'm doing. But you need to return. Don't just stay home and die and fuss and suffer and have lack. God never closed doors on his children. Look at number 5, warrior's danger. A warrior danger. A warrior pitfall is when they have to fight and give up the spiritual for the natural. A warrior pitfall is when they have to fight and give up the spiritual for the natural. Because of the fight of the economy and survival, how to eat, how to get a job, to buy gas in my car, pay my mortgage, pay my rent, that's a danger. So they're giving up the spiritual for the natural. A natural way of life will always look at the best life. Catch you there? You. The natural way of living always look at it better than the spiritual. The amount of young people that believe that serving God is a task because they are attracted to the natural elements of the world system. You know, they're giving up the spiritual life for the natural life because it looks as the best life. But a fighting warrior will always find the balance that will give them the victory over the economy that has been fallen or is about to fall. When you are a fighting warrior like me, I fight until I die. For God I live, for God I will die. If I live, God will keep me. If I die, God will kill me. Because I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. A fighting warrior will always find a balance that will give them the victory over the economy that have been fallen or is about to fall. Hey, call me here. Remember this. We are talking here survival of the fittest. Can you survive what is coming? Stay tuned for more nuggets and see you on midday and tonight's session. God bless you.
Warriors of God, get ready for 2023 as Podium Broadcasting Network kicks off the year with a new series called Survival of the Fittest. Catch us live every day at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily for fresh revelation. Also for our midday session, we'll be having a new series entitled Revelation Unfold by the Man of God. So, join us daily to build your spiritual life because it's all about getting people heavenly ready.